Although women constitute more than half of Ghana's population, men have since the founding of the country dominated the electoral space. The situation makes women's participation at all levels of decision-making very low. This means that critical decisions, which affect the lives of the over 51% of women in Ghana, are largely taken by men. Presently, only 38 of Ghana's 275 parliamentarians are women, while 19 of the over 100 ministers in the Akufo-Addo-led government are female. Executive Director of the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Jaman, believes political parties have played a major role in this imbalance.
We haven't had situations where, like, the two major political parties haven't come out clearly to provide a lot of support to women candidates. Let me just use the example of Honorable Adwoa Safo. What we saw during the primaries, I think, was a very sad spectacle, I mean, in my personal opinion, because if there was any candidate who needed to be protected within the, I mean, that political group, I believe that such a person needed protection. We saw situations where it was denied, but there was some tacit protection for some particular seats.
Honorable Delasoa has been the Member of Parliament for the Pando constituency in the Volta region for the past 8 years and will be vying for another term in the 2020 parliamentary elections. She opines that the hostile nature of the terrain does not inspire a lot of women to participate.
I was severely contested. I mean, severely contested. It was like a whole gang up. I had 3 men contesting me, and a lot of things were done to ensure that I wasn't going to emerge the winner. I won what everybody thought I wasn't going to win. I mean, in this house, if you ask everybody, they will say that they were concerned about their primaries, but their second concern was, oh, is Della going to make it? So it was like a joy when everybody saw that, oh, she made it, oh, she made it.
The Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Cynthia Morrison, who also doubles as the MP for Agona West, also bemoaned the insults and name-calling leveled against women in politics.
Most women that I talk to, they are afraid of the insults. And some of the insults are so bad that you wouldn't even want your children to hear that somebody said this to you. And if you have a family, you are considering your families. What's my husband going to say about this? What are my children going to say about this? But when it comes to the men, I don't know, because they are strong and they feel that when somebody insults them, they'll get people come at them. They don't. But I will encourage all women to be focused. Once it is your passion to go into politics, never mind what is said. Just cock your ears and go ahead.
Ritanao Dole Sowa is the first ever female candidate to contest the parliamentary seats in the Ladadekotopon constituency of the Greater Accra region. She will be contesting the seat on the ticket of the NDC after emerging victorious over 2 male contenders in the primaries. She shares her experience as a politician.
You know, sometimes when you want to go into politics, family or relationship tries to stop you. At the time I was married and my husband wasn't here, he was outside the country. And so it was like he wasn't interested. So we had printed posters and everything that I was about to go into it, but he said no. So
Evans Nimaku and Elvis Ifriye Ankwa are the directors of elections for the New Patriotic Party NPP and the National Democratic Congress NDC respectively. They have been speaking to me on what their parties are doing to promote the participation of more women in politics in Ghana.
In the current parliament, the New Patriotic Party has 25 MPs who are female and the NDC has 12. If you look back, Ghana has not met the threshold of, close to even 30% representation in parliament. You've never had that. But the New Patriotic Party has always put in place mechanisms to ensure that we have more female contesting.
During the primaries, we slashed down the nomination fees by 50% for the women. So that in itself is a sign that we acknowledge and appreciate the challenges that they face. And going forward as a party, as we plan distribution of logistics, we'll definitely look at them. When we are planning campaign and outreaches, you know, we would see how we'll allocate time such that we'll give them the necessary attention that they deserve.
Dr. Rashid Rahman also outlined the importance of increased women participation in decision-making.
When women are given a mandate, women have more kind of motherly tendencies and they tend to manage resources much better.
Meanwhile, the passage of the Affirmative Action Bill, which will promote gender equality, has still not been passed despite assurances by successive governments. This has driven many individuals and civil society organizations to conclude that governments have been paying lip service to the issue of women empowerment.
You know, if you look at what is happening in West Africa versus other regions of the continent, for instance, East Africa, I think we are far behind the East African countries. And this is mainly because those countries have some form of quota or some form of affirmative action. Like you talk about Rwanda, you talk about Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, all these countries have special seats, sometimes reserved for women.
However, the two major political parties are at each other's throats, with each claiming to have done better than their opponents in women empowerment.
I'm saying that Ghana moving forward, if New Patriotic Party sponsors 33 candidates, I don't know the numbers that the NDC is going to sponsor. And I can assure you, historical records show that NDC always file less women than NPP.
That even as we've selected a woman running mate, not just any other woman, but a woman who was the first vice chancellor of a public university. You know, governing a university is no joke, and she comes with her own gravitas. So it's not just, as President Mahama said, it's not tokenism, but she's very qualified and competent in her own rights.
The candidates, Dela Sowa and Rita Odoli Sowa, are all confident of winning their slots.
I'm very confident that I will win the elections and I will come back to Parliament.
I did the women empowerment, giving them skills training. Looking at some of the things that I have done, I believe they will know that going up there, there'll be more that I can do for them as a people.
Sheila Battles is contesting the Ablekuma North seat on the ticket of the NPP and says she's positive of winning.
We have supported so many people to go to school, provided scholarships for people. We have supported women with grants. We have done so many things, you know, over the past 1.5 years since I stepped up to go.
Until the needed legislation is passed to ensure more female representation in Parliament, these female candidates will just have to battle it out with their male contenders until they make it to Parliament. Reporting for Citi News, I am Nashika Caesar.